Hey guys, this is Avery. I wanted to come live really quick because I had quite a few people reach out to me and they were asking if I could do a video in response to the tragedies that we have had within the United States here within a very small amount of time. So I wanted to come live to talk to you guys because I feel like it's extremely important for us to discuss these things. But what I will make sure that I don't do is I will not be glorifying the individuals that are committing these horrendous crimes. We're just going to talk about how you guys can be better prepared, or actually we can be better prepared so that we do not fall victim. Hey guys, thank you all for joining. But if you guys have not heard, there have been some active shooters within the United States here recently, and I think we really need to talk about how we can be better prepared. Like I said, I won't be mentioning their names, but I do want to mention the amount of people who have been killed and where these crimes have been committed. So if you have not heard of them, then hopefully you'll learn something. But I want you all to make sure that you are taking your protection and the protection of those that you love seriously and actually protecting yourself. So today's Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday, and I was teaching a Florida Conceal Carry class. And while I was teaching my class, I had a few students in it, and we had a good time. And I always feel really good when those classes are over because I feel like I'm contributing to more responsible gun owners, right? So I get out of the class and I finally get to my phone, and then I find out that there have been some shootings that a shooting had occurred, and that shooting had occurred in El Paso. So I'm going to tell you guys about the shooting in El Paso. So the shooting in El Paso happened on the 3rd of August in El Paso, Texas, and the gunman killed 20 and he left at least 26 people wounded, and this occurred at a Walmart. He was taken into custody by the local police officers, and the police are investigating if he was linked to a anti-Latino group because he had a immigrant manifesto. And in this crime, he also this guy came and he had ear and eye protection on. So local Walmart. How many of you guys shop at Walmart? I know that, I went to Walmart today, so that's a place that we frequent. If you don't go to Walmart, then you do go to some kind of grocery or that type of store. So this is not the first time that it's happened in an area like that. And I want you to be mindful of some of these crimes are happening in highly populated areas. So I had my class yesterday. We had the El Paso shooting, right? Woke up this morning and I found out that there was a shooting that had occurred, and that one was in Dayton, Ohio. So that one was very, very early this morning. That was the 4th of August, 2019, and it was in Dayton, Ohio, and the gunman killed 9 and he injured 26 people. This gunman was wearing body armor and he had additional high-capacity magazines. The police officers were luckily nearby and they were able to eliminate him within, I think it said like a minute of him doing this. So the mayor stated that hundreds of people in the Oregon district could be dead today. And think about that. The first responders were a minute away, and he was able to kill 9 and injured 26. So just imagine if they were not patrolling within that area, how many people could actually have been killed. So I'm extremely grateful that they were that close. And another shooting that I want to cover, another shooting that I want to cover is one that was on the 28th of July. And this one was in Guilory, California. And this gunman opened fire at I think it was a garlic festival, and he killed 3. So sometimes they don't consider those active shooters because no, sorry, not a mass shooting because of the amount of people that were killed. But I just want to let you guys know, three still in my book, one too many. And he killed three and injured 12. So the handguns sorry, not the handguns, the firearms that were used, there were two AKs that were used. And we all know that they're about to come after guns, right? It's going to happen. Like, we all know it. So what I wanted to do was come on and talk to you guys about what has occurred. It is a true tragedy. We have had way too many lives lost. And I mean, just think about how many lives we have had lost within the past 24 hours. I mean, that's crazy. And if you do not have a means to protect yourself, I'm really urging you to find a way to defend yourself. I'm not saying that you have to have a firearm to protect yourself, because not everyone needs a firearm, but you do need to have some sort of way to defend yourself. And if you are a legal concealed carry holder and you're not confident with your firearm, there is a possibility that it can be used against you. That is a true possibility. And if you're not confident, if you don't get out and train, then I really, really want you to get out there and get trained. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Everybody's not here in the Tampa area, so you can't take a class with me, but I'm more than willing to give you guys value, help you out. And there's a ton of competent, great firearms instructors across the US. And I mean, they can get you trained up and get you good to go. But if you're carrying concealed, then you need to make sure that you're confident, that you are competent, and you know what to do. But some of these people are doing things in the areas where they don't expect to meet someone with a concealed carry license. And I just also want to say this week's episode of Talk to Me Thursday, which if you are not subscribed to my channel or you have not been on one of the Thursday videos, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I do a YouTube live. And you guys can send questions in to me, or I just go over certain things that I think are important. So this week, we will be discussing this further because I think we really need to talk about it. There are a lot of people who have no way to defend themselves. I've heard a lot of people saying, well, I haven't heard it, I've read a lot of people saying a lot of stupid stuff when it comes to these crimes. If you are not willing to protect the life of someone else around you, what I want you to do is put yourself in their shoes. What if something were happening to you and they were just not willing to protect you just because they didn't know who you are? Now I want you to think about it this way. What if that was your wife, your mother, your sister, your brother, your dad, your uncle, right? And that person just didn't know them. And they didn't want to protect them just because it had nothing to do with them. So I really want, if you have that type of mindset, I really want you to think about it, because although you're entitled to think the way that you think or feel the way that you feel, just know karma is real. And I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to do that to me. So I've seen a lot of people saying, well, why did this person do this? And I wouldn't have done that. These incidents occur in split seconds. So the Dayton, Ohio one, he was able to kill, let me see how many. He killed 9 and injured 26, and the police were able to get to him within 1 minute. Think about how quick that is. Average response time in the US is either 15 minutes or higher. So please think about these things. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. These types of things just really hurt my heart, because they're people who are evil. At the end of the day, people are evil still, right? And if you are not able to protect yourself, you have no idea when these things are going to happen. And when I teach my classes, I kind of relate it to getting into a car accident. When it comes to carrying a firearm or carrying any type of personal protection, Are you saying, okay, well, I know I'm going to go to the mall today and there's going to be an active shooter, so I'm going to take my firearm. Or I know there's not going to be anything, so I'm not going to take my firearm. We don't know when these things are going to occur, right? So you need to make sure that you are prepared. But on the flip of that, when I'm talking about being able to defend yourself, defend others, like there's just so much to it, right? So when you get in your vehicle, right, first thing you're supposed to do is put on your seatbelt because you don't know when you're going to get into an accident, right? You're not driving down the road and hit an intersection and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put my seatbelt on right now because in 1 minute I'm gonna get into an accident. It's extremely important that you just be consistent with carrying and make sure that you are being smart about it. I want to be able to protect myself. I want to be able to protect my family. And I'm the type of person, I want to protect those around me that cannot protect themselves, because one day that may be me, that I can't protect myself. One day it may be my children, my husband, my mother, my whoever. And just be good people, because there's so many responsible gun owners and responsible concealed carry holders who stop threats all the time. You may not always hear about it because if it wasn't an active shooter or if they're not going after guns, they don't really talk about it. But there's a lot of people who stop a lot of things. So be the change. I think that's what this really boils down to. Be the change and be one of the people who will not be a victim. You're going to make yourself a hard target. You're not going to be a soft target. If someone wants to injure you, they're definitely going to have to be damn good at it, because you're not going to make yourself a soft target. And I don't care if you're a man, woman, a child, you need to know how to protect yourself. And you can even start with just situational awareness. If you have a child, you can talk to your child about situational awareness. I have, within the next 30 days, I will be teaching 5 children privately. Their parents know how important it is to teach them. So they made sure they got a professional. They made sure that they invested in not only their safety, but their kids' safety as well, because there may be a possibility that the parent may be incapacitated, or the parent, something can be wrong with the parent, or heaven forbid, it could be at your child's school. So I want my kids to know how to defend themselves if the situation arises, because there is a possibility that it may arise. So we're having shootings at churches. They're happening at movie theaters. They're happening at gas stations. They're happening everywhere. So I really hate to come on here and talk about this, because I'm not one to scare people, but I'm one to be very real with each and every one of you. We have a huge problem, and I want you to be a part of the change. I want you all to be here to live long, long lives, and I don't want a coward to take your life away from you. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. This was a very late video, so I apologize about that. It was kind of an impromptu. I've had a very busy day. But what I will tell you, with my very busy day, I probably went to like 8 different stores today, and I had my gun with me. I had my gun with me, and I was with my entire family, and I had like an eerie feeling, like, what if, right? Because when these things happen, you don't know where they're going to happen next. Although we pray that it doesn't happen again, if it happens again, we want to be prepared. So there is a lot of bad things that are happening. We want to be the good guys and girls, and I want to be the change. I want you to be the change. I want you to be competent. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be able to apply first aid if you need it. I want you to have a tourniquet. I want you to know exactly what emergency medical is, because the realness of it is 911 may have to be called. They may not be that close. So if someone's calling 911, they have to get there to save you. And too many people bleed out and they die. So these are real life situations. And next week, not next week, sorry. This week's Hot to Me Thursday, we will be discussing a few things such as tourniquets, being able to carry conceal, and I want to talk about concealed carry. And I would love it if people who live up north, and when I say up north, you know, those states that are very, very strict with their gun control, I would love if some of you would be able to hop in and share some things with us, or even if you can share some things with me ahead of time, because I hear a lot of people that say, well, it's way too much involved to get a license, or you got to do this, this, and this. And I really want some people to talk about why, why they think a lot of people don't get their license. Because I know for me personally, they can tell me that I'm gonna have to jump through 15 hoops and I'm going to have to pay this amount of money, and I'm gonna have to do it because my personal protection and my life is a priority. My personal protection and the life of my children is a priority as well. So I think we do the things that are important to us, and it's time that if we have the means to do it, that we do it. Our protection, our family's protection is extremely important. And if you live in a state to where you can't have a gun at all, we're also going to talk about situational awareness. Situational awareness is one of those things to where you can possibly avoid a bad situation. You can detect that something's off. You can detect that someone is off, and you can just leave the area. If something's happening over here, you can say, I don't think I want to be here, and you can just leave. So if there's anything else that you guys want me to cover on this week's episode, please let me know. And I really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I know this was very short notice and I didn't really talk about much, but I did want to come and cover a couple things because I want to know that there's more people out here who are legal concealed carry holders. By no means am I saying do anything illegally, right? Because what's going to happen is you're going to get popped with a felony, and then now you're going to lose all of your rights, all right? So I know why I carry. Now I want to know why you carry. So if you guys would love to drop some comments below and let us know why you decide to carry, I would love for you to do that. And let's see. Marv said, shout out to Glenn Oakley for his bravery as a soldier to protect the children in El Paso. Yes, yes, yes. If any of you know him, I would definitely love to chat with him, but I'm sure that's not possible. Leah, are you asking to discuss the states that recognize other states? Send me info on what state you're in. And that's called, if you're not sure what that's called, it's called reciprocity. And I know this isn't like funny at all because this video is extremely serious, but it took me like a year to learn how to say reciprocity. And I'm probably still not saying it right. But like Marv said, I want to give a huge shout out to Glendon. Yeah, his name is Glendon Oakley. And I posted about him today on Facebook and Instagram, and he was brave enough to save children in the Texas shooting. So major props to him. There's not a lot of people that do the right thing, and especially when their life's on the line. We just talked about that. Some people are just going to stand there and just be a bystander, but he did the right thing. He is a soldier in the Army, and Matt, props to him, major shout out. And I would love to interview him, but if you guys know him, I would love to. If anybody else has any questions, please feel free to send them to me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to be safe. I want you to be consistent. When I say be consistent, I want you to carry. I want you to carry even when you don't want to carry. I want you to carry, and I talk about this in my classes. If I'm trying to be real cute and I want to wear something that may be a little bit tighter and I can't conceal, I'm going to off-body carry, but I'm still going to be prepared. And when I off-body carry, I'm going to have my firearm and my bag where I know I can get to it very quickly at all times. All right. We talk about things such as on body carry, off body carry, and do what's comfortable for you. Don't let anybody shame you into doing something that you're not comfortable with, or just shame you into anything, because this is all about you and your safety. So make sure that you take your safety into your own hands. If you don't have your Conceal license, I urge you to get it. I want you to have it and not need it versus need it and you not have it, because it's very, very important to be able to do that. I see that there are so many people who are very reactive. They're not proactive, they're very reactive, and they want to be able to take a class on this day and they want to do this on this day, and it's like it doesn't happen that quick. I know here in Florida it takes about 30 to 45. Right now they're pretty quick with it, but normally it's 30 to 60 days to get your license. So I want you guys to have them carry, right? And maybe you will never ever have to use your firearm in self-defense. But if you need to use your firearm in self-defense, I want you to have it. I want you to be here. And I want you to be able to tell your side of the story. So I did a podcast interview recently with Michael Waller, and he was in a shooting in Chicago. So if you guys have not checked out that podcast episode, feel free to check out that episode. And it is actually on this YouTube channel. If you click on the playlist with podcasts, you'll be able to find it. But I love each and every one of you. I want you to be safe and I want you to be happy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I will see you guys this Thursday for Talk to Me Thursday. It will be Thursday night, 8 p.m. So have a great week and I will see you guys soon.